How is your "if we are single by 30 we're getting married" friend doing? With us, it was, "If we are still single at 65, let's just move in together. At least we like each other." We met first year at university and had been close friends ever since. She died of breast cancer at 63. Miss her every day. She's been living a wild life. We made the pact at 22. She got married by 24, divorced by 25, new relationship and got pregnant at 26, married at 28, and divorced at 30. In that time, she dropped out of college, went back to college, completed her associates, got nailed for a few drug charges, and is currently fighting for custody of her kid with the dad. This actually did happen for a friend of mine and his wife. But it was more of a conversation along the lines of, "Hey, remember that pact we made when we were 18 about getting married at 30 if we were both single? Well, we are now 30 and single. Did you want to give dating a shot?" 5 years later, and they are now happily married. I have no idea why they didn't give dating a shot years before, but that's none of my business. We both got married before 30 to other people. She married a cool dude and had 4 kids. They had a beautiful family, and so do I. I was genuinely happy for her and glad we didn't end up with each other. She died of cancer a few years ago when her youngest kid was still in elementary school. My heart breaks for her and her family. I feel closer to them than they realize because I knew her since middle school. I think of them often and hope they are finding peace and happiness in this crazy life. Not me, but I have a former coworker that made that pact with his senior high school prom date, lost touch for 7 or so years, reconnected at the 10-year high school reunion, got married 2 years later. Now 2 kids with a third on the way and very happy. It was cool to watch the majority of that story go down. We made the pact at 15 as a joke. We finished high school, college, and moved into early adulthood while he dated other people. I was single until 23 when I met my match, who I'm still with to this day. This year, he broke up with his girlfriend because he said he loved me and couldn't be friends anymore because it was too hard for him. It sucks, but I wish him the best. Had a married at 40 option. Lost contact with her for a few years, and had started to rebuild our friendship. She'd got married and moved away, but was in the process of splitting up and remembering her old life. Had arranged to go and see her in her new flat. Big night out planned. But then contact suddenly stopped again. Found out about 6 months later that she'd had a car crash and died instantly. Her still husband hadn't told any of her old friends what had happened. She was the first one from our friend group that had died. It hit hard. Still think of her often and the mischief we got up to in our late teens. He's married to a gorgeous woman with 2 of the cutest babies I've ever seen. He's a white man and was racist in high school, something my hormonal ass was willing to overlook. But now he owns a gym with his best friend who is black and his wife is Asian. Dude turned around and achieved his dreams in the best way imaginable. Killer combo. Living his best life. And I'm in a long-term relationship myself, so we're both out here just killing it. I do actually have a friend who did this. They reconnected after not seeing each other for a good while. They laughed and reminisced about their funny agreement to get married at 30 if they hadn't met someone else. They did get married pretty quick and were happy for about a year. Then they spent a couple more years miserable together. Things got very bad and he ended up divorcing her. He's now happily married to someone who seems to be much better for him. He's driving. We are pulling our camper. Our 9-year-old is in the back seat. We just finished a 4-night camping trip with his younger brother and his fiancée, also a "if we're single" couple. They have 2 girls, 2 and 4. We are all still excellent friends. My Bill and his fiancée dated right after high school. My husband and I didn't hook up until 2 days before we eloped. Married 11 years yesterday. Friends since '94. He's a rather successful programmer and overall great guy, so I'm unsure why he's single still. We made the pact when we were 15. I am happily married to an amazing man, so sometimes I think of my promised friend and hope that a spectacular woman, or man if that's what he wants, finds their way into his life. I wish him nothing but happiness, whichever form it takes.